Hi, it's Melanie here. And we got to talk about something that comes up when you are starting to achieve those next levels of success. And it's deciding what is going to get a yes and what do you need to turn down. So I've noticed that FOMO is at an all-time high. There's no shortage of shiny objects and great ideas, right? And as you get more and more successful, guess what? You start to have less and less time. So what gets your yes is a million times more important. And what gets your no has to be super clear. And this applies to anything, but what I want to talk about today, we're just going to hone in on one place that this really gets kind of crazy, is opportunities. Because once you turn on that faucet and you get really magnetic with your message, you have a huge irresistible offer, you're out there and people know you're out there and you've got something that they know is going to be a perfect fit for their podcast, their event, their club, their clubhouse conversation, right? Their Facebook Live. You're going to get a lot of invitations. And I want that for you. Like, that's really what we're striving for. But you can't say yes to everything and still have room to grow your business and to serve your clients and do the things you have a lot of passion for. And so there becomes a moment where you've really got to dial in what I like to call your opportunity filter. What are you going to give a yes? What needs to get a no? So I draw from some experience I had 30 years ago when I was working in a Fortune 500 company. Mind blowing as it is, yes, 30 years ago, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. Feels like a whole other lifetime. And when I was working for this company, one of the things they excelled at, and I learned so much that I can bring into the entrepreneurial experiences, they didn't just pursue a client or like a branding event or a place to market and be in front of ideal clients, unless it was totally aligned with the goals and the, everybody had like a budget for what they needed to bring in, quotas. And so everything that got a yes, everything we put man hours or woman hours on had to fit with what it is we were trying to achieve. There's a huge learning in here and another opportunity for you to look at your practices of what gets a yes. I use a whole set of facts and data with my intuition. And I teach this to my clients in Amplifying Your Circle because I find that dialing this in is really critical. So I'm going to give you 3 things to be thinking about when you make your next decision about, am I going to pursue that opportunity? And one of them is this actually going to get me in front of ideal clients? 2, does it line me up with my goals? So, if it's not going to get you to the goal, the thing that you really want more of right now, why would you say yes? And 3, is it going to expand me and excite me and inspire me, or does it contract me? All right, let me unpack these real quick. Go back to number 1. Is it going to put me in front of my ideal clients? Look, if you're saying yes to opportunities that are not going to get you in front of ideal clients, why? I know that it's fun. I know you're probably getting some great opportunities, but your job is to be visible and to share your message in places where your ideal clients can see you. Now, that doesn't mean you'll never do something for a friend or, there's going to be something just for fun you're going to do once in a great while. But if you're making a habit of doing things and being in front of audiences where your ideal clients are not, all you're going to do is feel frustrated. And I am so honored when people ask me if I will come and share my message. I'll be on their podcast. Just today, I got an invitation to be in a clubhouse like marathon series. And I said, I'm so flattered. And I can't, because it's not my audience. These are not my people. So it's not really going to serve me to do that. And the message isn't really going to resonate. So even though it's a friend, I was like, oh, can't. It's not a fit. So you want to make sure you're saying yes to things that put you in front of your ideal audience 99% of the time. Okay. We promise. Yes. Thank you. Secondly, is it going to align you with your goals? This is huge. you can say yes to the greatest opportunities, but if they're circuiting the time, your resources, your focus, and your team's ability to implement what you've already set as goals, why? Why are you doing it? Is it a once in a lifetime opportunity that you're willing to pause everything else and put it on hold to say yes to? So Oprah calls, right? The morning show. Great. Definitely put it on pause. Go say yes. Uh, but if it's just something random that could come up at any time, you got to really ask yourself, why do I keep putting my goals on pause to chase other people's priorities? Big one. This is the dream killer. This is the FOMO, bright, shiny object syndrome that keeps you from moving forward those goals that are going to grow you and catapult you versus just being in that incremental growth that you're like, okay, the next little project, because you can only squeeze in a little bit of time because you're always saying yes to all the other great opportunities. If you follow Enneagram at all, Enneagram 7s tend to have massive FOMO, and they are so good at so many things, they have a really hard time saying no because they're afraid they'll miss out. And so they end up short circuiting their bandwidth to grow their core objectives to really complete those big projects. And it frustrates them and it creates a lot of overwhelm. And so that's a discipline you have to create, is what's really going to be a yes that takes me to my goal versus derails me from my goal. And the last one is a little bit of an internal check-in. So we can say yes to the right things, but if they're not lighting us up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to make time for it. You're probably going to procrastinate it. You're going to put off doing what you need to do. And it's just going to feel like a big fat should that isn't going to, take you where you want to go anyway. Now, I want to just go a little deeper into expansive versus contracted. When you're expansive, that doesn't mean you don't have some excitement that might feel like fear. It doesn't mean that there won't be some things to figure out that might feel a little bumpy and messy. It means that, on some level, there's something there that needs to expand you, that needs to happen for you. So we could apply that to anything, like investing in a coach or a mastermind. It could be hiring somebody to help you grow, like a virtual assistant or a marketing person or a copywriter. It could be where you have an opportunity to speak. Okay. It doesn't mean you won't feel some fear. Little secret. I almost always feel a little fear when I have to speak on a new stage. Okay. So fear isn't the enemy. It is just information. It's just basically mean you're stretching outside of your comfort zone a little bit and you're expanding what it is that you're capable of doing. Now, if it's a hard, like, no way, there's nothing about this feels right, I usually get super curious. Why? Especially if I'm coaching someone and I'm like, I know this would be good for them. So why are they a big no? And sometimes it's just not aligned, but sometimes there's some mindset stuff that's in the way, and the paradigm of what you believe is possible for you is bumping up against who you believe you need to be to pull off that opportunity. Okay, so again, really look at constriction. Is it not the right time? Is it not the right thing? Or is it you're not in the right place and there's an opportunity for expansion and growth? Start looking at opportunities through a new filter. Be the person who says yes to the opportunities that propel you and amplify you, not just things that kind of micro move you along the path. Okay, mini wins are good if you're stuck, but that's not where we want to live. And it's not really where the great joy and fulfillment comes from. So what's going to be on your opportunity filter? How are you going to start looking at the things that cross your path and maybe even raising your standards for what gets your yes and getting more clear how to say no? And one last thing, if you struggle with saying no, one of the things it could be is that you've got some boundary issues and you have a really hard time feeling like you're going to let someone down. This is an important area to work with a coach or get some support to learn how to say no gracefully, how to say no and be confident about it, and to not worry about what other people think, but to be really clear what's important to you and where you're supposed to be to take care of and support and inspire and educate and hire or be hired by the people that really need what you do. That's when the amplify magic really kicks in. So I can't wait to hear if you put this into action. Tell me what's working for you. I love it when I get those direct messages and you share the in the comments what's working for you and what you're going to take away and put into action. It just gets me inspired and helps me know what to stay focused on to support you with tips and insights. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye for now.